to another edition to Elite Level Game. Yes, so we are live. Okay, good. I wasn't, you're never 100% certain that your stream is going to work. You know what I mean? Right. You're like me, EO. You do everything by yourself. Like all of your production, your camera, you do all of this yourself. So, guys like you and me at this point, we don't have the luxury of just sitting down and doing the show. No, we got to make sure the sound is right and the graphics are right. How do you think your life would change if you were to actually hire a production assistant?
I'm kind of a control freak, so I probably would still be working while he or she is still working. But at some point, I'll probably just say, "Hey, listen, I've trained you. You know what to do."
Yeah.
And probably not even just trained you. I mean, you know what to do. So, but I'm a control freak, man. I'd have to look at it, and then he or she would probably feel offended. So, we'll see. We'll see when things progress.
Listen, bruh, and I think that's probably what's going to lead to me. I'm probably not going to live past, 58. And the reason for that is because I don't trust anybody to do it the way I would do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not that other people who work with me aren't invested in it, but I like things done a certain way. And so, I don't know. I think it's a control thing with me as well. I just want it done the way I want it done. And if for whatever reason it isn't done exactly the way I want it done, I'm like, okay, let's just scrap the whole thing and start it from scratch. You remember last week on the 6th, I couldn't get the graphics. I couldn't get the graphics package to work, and so I was like, all right, fuck it. We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it like it, like it is, and let the chips fall where they may. So.
Yeah. No, same thing here. I've been so self-reliant for such a long time that it's hard for me to relinquish control. Until the person has shown me that they are capable.
Sure.
Then I will, but
sure.
I am very much a control freak. I like things to be a specific way.
Yes. Now, case in point, Dev, she controls all of the website stuff because I don't know anything about that. But production-wise, that is absolutely all me. Shout out to the sharpshooters in the chat. We've got Carlos R. We got P-Dubs in the house. Overton Consulting Group, a.k.a. SNO. Good to see you in here. Slam Bright says more quality content from Donovan. Jimmy in Dallas. Good to see you in here.
Shout out to him,
Yeah. Dub. I think that's Dub in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to open the phone lines later on to get your take on tonight's topic, which is why women are self-destructive by nature. Now, EO, you said you had a part of an article that you wanted to read that kind of shed some light on this. So, where'd you find the article? What exactly does it say, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, you know what? I wanted to kind of look at the scientific approach to this, in addition to behavioral conditioning, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And so there was something that I found that I've experienced. I've seen this happening in real time.
Okay.
If you get to know women too, and when you've talked about a woman's ovulation.
Oh yes.
You've talked about the hormone thing, and there's a that plays into part of why they're self-destructive.
Okay.
And so this particular article, I'm only going to read a brief part of it, but it said there's an actual scientific reason why women are attracted to bad boys. Okay. And so, and this is nothing new to you, but it says here, no, it's not just teenage boys who try to make mating choices based on raging hormones. In the new book, Hormonal, deep dives into how we can better understand our behaviors, romantic and otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Once we know our hormones, how our hormones may be influencing them. Research has shown, for example, that women are more interested in a specific type of man you might call an alpha during ovulation than we are at other points in our monthly cycle. So she's talking to women. This is clearly a woman writing this article.
Of course.
There's a suite of sexually attractive qualities like symmetrical features and dominant behaviors. Author Marty Hasselton, PhD, tells me that women prefer during their fertile days. This supports the good genes theory of selection, which suggests that women and female animals are drawn to males with traits associated with fit genes that they can pass on to their offspring. Dr. Haselton explains in the book she calls this the type of sexy Chad. He's sexy for obvious reasons. He's a Chad. Also player, because he's a rarity. Not everyone can be alpha after all.
Of course,
puts him in high demand. With such an abundance of options, why would she settle down? The other 3 weeks of the month, Dr. Haselton says women are much better judges of character, which I've experienced that. I've seen that.
Yes.
Yes. We're attracted to men we deem caring, responsible, and nurturing. And in the long run, this desire to find a partner who will likely make a good father usually wins out. Okay, that's debatable.
I'll change that. And listen, Dr. Marty Haselton, I think, has spoken at the 21 convention. Not that credits or discredits her, but there's a big difference between a father and a dad. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Fathers and dads are two very, very. Any man can be a father. But then there are certain people who qualify to be dads. Go ahead.
Yes. No, that's pretty much it. I mean,
okay.
She goes into we're attracted to men during the other 3 weeks that are deemed caring, responsible, and nurturing, and in the long run, okay. Even though we may still desire, say, Colin Farrell when we're most fertile.
Of course,
okay?
This is
given the high demand of alpha males with a sweet and caring side. It seems that women learned to exchange sexy for stable. Okay, picking the reliable male who will help at the nest. So that's pretty much it. It's a much longer article, but I do think that there's some validity to that.
I do too,
and I've experienced that.
I do too. But I will say this: no disrespect to Marty Haselton, but no shit, Sherlock. Right? And I'll give you. And listen, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an evolutionary doctor, whatever the case may be, but it's real simple. The reason why women are aroused by arousing genes, men who are tall, muscular, devil-may-care attitude, is because those traits, when passed on to their sons, okay, those traits are far more likely to survive. That's what this is. If I have a kid, and women are never thinking about this consciously, they think about this subconsciously, and their subconscious choices play out in the way of them wanting to fuck the bad boys. And so when a woman's firmware decides that she wants to have sex with someone, she's not thinking, okay, I want to procreate with this person so that if I have a son with this guy, that my son will have the same genes as him. And if my son has the same genes as him physically, then that will make him more likely to be able to pass on his genes because other women will want him. That's it. Not only that, if my son has the same genes as this big, strong guy, he's more likely to survive physically because he's bigger, faster, stronger. It's the same thing with men. The reason why we like young, fertile, beautiful women is because we know that if we have a daughter with this woman is more likely to pass on our genes because more men will want to mate with her. So and again, it's not like Marty Haselton had to go to, I hope she didn't have to go to school for something like that, because that, I mean, to me, that's obvious. Where Dr. Haselton fucked up, in my opinion, where she misuses the word father, right? So she says, okay, well, like when we're ovulating, we want to fuck men with superior physical genes. Like no shit, like nobody, like you don't have to, like I didn't have to go to school to figure that out. But then she says during the other 3 weeks, we're much better judges of character, and we're looking for the kind, nurturing men who will make better fathers. No, there's a difference between a father and a dad. More women want to fuck men who make good fathers. They want to marry the men who will make good dads, because the men who make good fathers, guess what? They're the genetically superior, and they have their choice in women. So this is why dudes make babies with a bunch of women who can. And listen, if we're gonna talk about morals and ethics, I'm not here to talk about morals and ethics. I'm talking about pure 100% just evolutionary biology. Lions, tigers, and bears out in the wilderness. Let's just take the lion, for example. The lion will go from, he'll have 2 to 3 different prides. Now, maybe the father lion gets killed, but if one lion propagates a herd, he goes to propagate another herd of lions, the lioness is like, I can't believe this nigga's going over there having all these kids. No, this is what the male alpha lion is designed to do. The only reason why there's the moral cathedral with regards to natural selection and procreation is because we as humans were born with the ability to what class? Reason. And with reason comes emotion. There are no emotions when it comes to procreation. Women want to mate with men who have superior physical genetics. This doesn't make them good. This doesn't make them bad. This makes them women. We as men, we want to procreate with women who are physically attractive and young and fertile. And the reason why we both want to do this is because in the back of our mind, we know that if women know that if they have a son with a physically superior man, if she has a son, he is also going to have those genes, right? And if he has those genes, he's more likely to survive physically. Other women will want him, which will pass onto the genetic line. So again, with all due respect to Dr. Marty Hasselton, yeah, no fucking shit. Women are good judges of character. Women are better judges of character when they're not thinking about cocking all three of their holes for the 9 to 10 days that they're ovulating. And I've said this since day one. This is why women are just kind of weird, is they are never chemically identical from one day to the next, and it is because of their cycle. The only time women really become emotionally stable is after they hit menopause. Because after they hit menopause, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, but after they hit menopause, there is no more cycle. There are no more periods. So the female body is no longer preparing itself to possibly give life to another human. But again, how can I put this? If a woman's sexual drive weren't so strong to absolutely do whatever it takes, even at her own expense, to mate with the best genetic specimens available, then guess what, EO? The best genes would be bred out of existence within 2 or 3 generations. This is why love is not unconditional. Women love conditionally. If unconditional love existed, we would cease to exist because women would love fat, slovenly men who had no drive, no determination, etc., etc.
No, I completely agree with that, 100%. And I even think men don't. I would bring a little balance to it just to say we don't love unconditionally either.
Oh, hell no! Fuck no!
So I think we both on both sides there's a certain level of conditions, and so I just thought it would be a good idea to maybe just show the scientific, the hormonal aspect of it, because I don't even think a lot of women realize it. I think a lot of women have periods, but they don't know why they're having periods. I don't really think they know that during that time they want to grab that kind of guy, and then once that passes and subsides, that now they do want perhaps a beta male personality type around. I don't think they truly realize that that's going on. So that's why I thought maybe it'd be nice to introduce.
You're right.
For the 2 women that could be watching, or maybe the 20 that are secretly watching.
Who knows?
Ladies, you might know why you act the way you do during specific times of the month.
Yeah, 100% agreement. And I think that, and listen, if women don't know why they act the way they act, then you damn sure know that men don't know. And, it's interesting, EO, is that a lot of men, they're frustrated, especially with women. Why all of these mood swings? Why all of these different moods? Why is it that women are like this one day and then like that another? This is why I tell guys, look, get a cycle calendar for every woman you are dealing with. That way you know where she is in her cycle and how to deal with her. Gentlemen, this is next level game. But the other thing that men need to realize is that unless you're in great shape or you have some swagger, whatever the case may be, women are only going to want you. Women are going to really show interest in you. Women are not going to show interest in you unless you have just physical interest, unless you have those superior physical genes. So it's interesting, EO. Women actually show interest for beta males a lot. I would say more days than they do with alpha males, because during 1 week they're attracted to the alpha males, they want cock in every hole and then some, and then
she's most likely to cheat on you during that week too.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah, she's most likely to cheat. If she's got a girls' night out during that week, watch out.
Listen, man, keep a cycle calendar, dude. Keep a cycle calendar on your girl. If all of a sudden she's trying to separate herself from you, if all of a sudden she's trying to go places without you, and you're checking that cycle calendar, and you're like, wait a minute, she's ovulating, she's looking for cock, right? At that point, you can act accordingly. Slambright with the $2. Hang on a second, I just missed one. Slambright with the $5 super chat says, basically, this means she wants Alpha Chad blowing her back out over 1 week, with Beta Hubby providing her resources the remainder. Yeah, and again, I want guys to understand that this is not an indictment on the female species. Women are genetically designed to be this way. This is, and we talk about alpha fucks, beta bucks all the time. And again, guys, it may not, you might think it's not fair, and it sucks for a lot of guys. It really does suck for a lot of guys. But, and listen, you and I am pro calling these bitches out. I made a post on Instagram, actually inspired by you. Listen, it's time to call these fucking bitches what they are. They're fucking losers. The average 20-something-year-old woman is a fucking good-looking loser. I'm never going to be the guy that's going to pull back on criticizing females for their fucked up behavior. But we got to understand that even though they are cruel and they are heartless, you have to understand that now the cruelness and the heartlessness, that's, obviously that's reprehensible, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But you have to understand that their romantic decisions, their procreative decisions, are based on their. You can't shame a woman for wanting to fuck the alpha chad. That's what they're designed to be. That's what they're designed to do.
Right. That's 100% true. And there's something that ARC says. So shout out to Alan Roger Curry. I believe this is in one of his books where he says women generally want the alpha male with beta traits.
Yes.
So she wants the alpha looking male, but the guy who can have beta traits on top of that.
Yes.
That would probably be the ideal man for women. If you can be her alpha, but those other 3 months or weeks of the month, you can exhibit some beta traits.
Right. It's funny. Alpha Male Strategies calls that the loyal alpha. Guess what, EO? That dude does not exist. And you want to know something? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Loyal alphas did used to exist. They used to exist back in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, the greatest generation. But then along came feminism. Feminism quite literally, effectively, women had, things were so good back then because you had men who had alpha traits, big, strong men who were willing to work and this and that and the other, who actually stayed faithful to their women, I guess, most of the time. And if they did have a side piece, they didn't really rub it in her face. But there were so many good men who were the best of both worlds. But what feminism did, by introducing the feminist agenda, then of course birth control, men decided, well, wait a minute, women, we can now have sex with women without having to marry them? Because remember, back then, if you wanted to get laid, you had to get married. That was just how it is. Make an honest woman out of her.
That happened early on.
Real talk. But when feminism hit, women wanted choices, and they got it. So what men effectively did, they said, okay, well, I'm just going to exhibit these alpha traits and not commit. There's no reason to commit. Well, guess what? This left most men who would otherwise have choices because of the requirement to get married to have sex. This left them out in the cold. So now you have 20% of men who exhibit alpha traits and 80% of men who exhibit beta traits. And guess what, EO? That 80% of men now, today, here in 2021, going on 2022, they are sexually invisible to women. Women only see the top 20% of men. So when Alpha Male Strategy says that women want a loyal alpha, listen, they could have those loyal alpha if you can get up with Doc and Marty fucking McFly and go back to the future and maybe get you a loyal alpha then. But today they don't exist. Because again, today, Today you have men who are strong and forceful, etc. Then you have men who are nurturing, want to take care of women. That's the ultimate man if you put them together. But here in 2021, you can almost never find them in the same man. Back 60, 70 years ago, there were men running around all the time with alpha and beta traits. The loyal alpha, not true anymore today, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with that completely. There was another, I'm going to kind of take it to, there was something I thought of about 20 minutes before we went live. And we always talk about men buying the lies.
Yes.
Which is why they're blue pilled, and then they try to come to the manosphere and get the information they need. Some may call it red pilled.
Sure.
And so I think also women are frustrated and self-destructive because they too bought the lie.
Yes.
And so I'll give you a few examples of that I know of personally, because I've heard either women tell me or I've just seen this happen, where women are told, usually by the mother. Now the father can co-sign it, but the mother usually is leading it when she says this.
Okay.
Oh, give it time, get your education, date around, find a husband maybe in your 30s, have fun, travel. These things right here, women have bought into, and then they found out later, it's too late for me.
That's it.
It's too late for me. So I think to some degree, or a large degree, that men have bought the lie, and now they go through that rage, that self-destruction.
Yes.
And then they have to try to find a mentor such as Donovan, Sharpe, myself, that they could find the answers, get the truth, swallow that pill, then regurgitate it a couple times, because they're not going to want to keep that shit down. And then eventually they go through the stages and they accept the reality, and then now they form a plan based on this new information. And so this is something that women need to do also, I would say, to avoid self-destruction, is to marry early.
Yes. Yes.
to marry early, because I'll tell you right now, if a girl takes advice from her mother, she's always going to lose.
That's right. Today she'll lose. Women taking advice from their mothers back in the day never lost, but now they lose. I'll tell you something here, EO. This is interesting. Yeah, we're at 350 people watching. Guys, please like the video. If you can't afford to super chat, I'm not mad at you, but likes are free. Likes are free. One of the greatest lies, and this wasn't even first or second wave feminism. This is now fourth wave extreme feminism. One thing, the message that women are getting today that is absolutely destroying any and all chance they have at happiness is the idea that their 20s belong to them. And this doesn't mean that if you're a woman and you're in your 20s, that means you can't live your life. But a woman's 20s, that is the prime opportunity to set yourself up for a lifetime. What women today are doing, EO, is they're taking their 20s for themselves, rather than using their late teens, early 20s to find a husband. Because just like you said, women today are like, listen, take your time, get your education, get it out of your system, sport fuck all the Chads, the Tyrones, and Jaquantres and Brads and DeMichaels and LaMarcuses. Don't even worry about that, because there's always going to be men around to bail you out. And they're right, but here's where they're wrong. The men that are going to be there to bail them out are not the men that they're going to want. You see, the men who showed interest to these women at 22, they'll show them interest at 32, but there's going to be only sexual interest. At 22, 23 years old, men of all ages are like, yo, I'm trying to lock this down. You're 22. You're not jaded or sullen yet. Let's do this. Nah, I think I'm going to wait. Next thing you know, you're 32 and you still have options. But the older you get as a woman, the lower the quality your options become. Women need to understand your 20s do not belong to you. If your 20s belong to you, then guess what? Your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, 60s, and 70s also going to belong to you as well, as in only you, buy a dog and die alone. But if you do the right thing, if you get married young, you get married early, your 20s can still belong to you and your husband and your children. And in your 50s, your 50s can belong to you, your husband, your children, your grandchildren. You get the white picket fence and live happily ever after. A 3 to a 4 year period in any woman's life can literally make or break her. These bitches are riding the carousel for 15 years and expecting to be wifed up at fucking 48 years old. Bitch, please, fuck out of here with that.
You know what? That's facts. And in my experience, based on what I've seen for men that are close to me, if you give a man your youth, let's say you marry young,
yes,
okay, he's less likely to leave you later on.
Oh,
because
100%.
of the investment, because he realizes like, hey, I had the best years of this woman.
Yes.
And so even if she tapers off looks wise, skin begins to sag a little bit.
Doesn't matter.
Women age a lot worse than men.
Of course.
You look at a man, as long as he maintains himself at 50, and then you look at a woman as 50, it's no contest.
No, definitely not.
But he will respect you if you gave him those earlier years, and he's more likely to give you that commitment. So I would tell women listening, like, hey, if you think you're gonna wrap the guy or get the guy that you really want to invest in you later in years, you're delusional. He'll smash you. He might take you on a couple trips because maybe you suit his taste buds for this month.
Yep.
But then at some point he's going to get rid of you because there was no investment.
Nope.
He's also figured out by asking you a series of questions that you fucking wasted your life.
Mm-hmm.
You have no relationship experience. It's the equivalent of an interviewer. If I'm talking to somebody for an interview and it happens to be a woman, I'm like, okay, so it doesn't look like you stayed at any one job for any great length of time.
Yes.
So you don't have relationship experience.
Right.
You don't know what it's like to settle into that role and serve a man. So I will tell ladies listening and men listening, don't be confused. And Donovan says this all the time, and I'll say it because it's the truth. Don't be confused with a man showing interest in you in your 30s with what Donovan said earlier, trying to actually give you a permanent role.
That's right.
So I will say, if you give a man, if you are actively seeking a husband, becoming a wife as well, and you marry a man and he gets you early on, there's a great chance that he's going to respect that relationship, and you guys are going to continue to build on, have children, grandchildren, and perhaps even grow old together.
Listen, man, you hit on so many good points. Number one, in terms of, I'll take this one step at a time. So in terms of a woman's investment, you give your best years to a man, chances are he's not going anywhere. Well, what if he cheats, Donovan? Men don't cheat. We exercise options. Again, just because I stick my dick in another chick does not mean that I'm going to leave my wife or my long-term girlfriend for a chick that I'm... Listen, dude, let's just say a man and a woman in their late 40s, right? They've been married for 25 years. They've got 4 kids. Okay, so the husband has, a 20-something-year-old side piece, right? He's not leaving his wife for her. This wife gave him the best years of her life, 4 kids, and loyalty. You understand? Sexual loyalty is not the same for men and women. That's the first thing. And I'll tell you this. If that same couple, 48 years old each, right? If his wife were ever to leave him, that would crush him. That's the mother of his kids. He is always going to love that woman. He might not always be as sexually attracted to her as he was when they first met, but there's more to love, especially for men, than just sexual attraction, especially in your later years. The more you invest as a woman in a man, the more likely it is he'll stick around. Now, do some husbands leave their wives for the side chick? Yeah, it happens. But it doesn't happen very often. And a lot of women are using their 20s as an excuse. I need to set myself up. I need to make sure that I have a job or a career in case something happens or he leaves. I'm sorry, last I checked, women are filing 80% of the divorces. So what are you talking about? Kevin Samuels talked about this the other day. He calls it the color purpling of our community. Ain't no color purpling going on in the black community. Ain't nobody waiting. There's no waiting to exhale. You ain't fucking Angela Bassett. I worked every day as your secretary, working every day of the week, or whatever nonsense that Mary J. Blige was singing. That don't happen. And if it does, you are the gross exception to the rule. Stop using a movie as an excuse to do what you were going to do anyway. Like when dudes, it's funny. I remember when the movie Get Out came out. All of these niggas, you see what happens when you fuck with these white girls? So you mean to tell me that if a nigga fucks with a white girl, she's going to somehow rope him into some sort of farm where they're going to rob his... Like, what are you talking about? It's a fucking movie. Ladies, quit living your lives according to movies. This is the second thing. You mentioned the resume, and the reason, one of the main reasons why I decided to give Devin a chance, she had a solid resume. Yeah, yep. She had a few boyfriends in her teens, and one boyfriend when she was 20. Devin got married at 21, stayed married for 18 years. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see you stayed at this company for 18 years. What happened? Well, we went through some ups and downs. I wasn't the best employee. They weren't the best employer. And in the end, we just decided to part ways. I said, well, I'll be goddamned. Like, this woman is actually... Now, I will tell you this. She tried the same old lines on me. Well, he wasn't meeting my needs. I said, Devin, listen. And this is what men have to do. I said, look, chick. I said, I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened. But you're not going to trash your ex-husband to me. Because I said, as quickly as this thing happened between you and me, what's to say you weren't getting up to the same type shit? Like, you talk all this shit about your ex-husband. Were you the perfect wife? Were you the perfect wife? You know what it was? I don't have the sound effect. It was fucking crickets. I said, okay, so don't talk shit about your ex-husband to me, because I've been on the other side of that. But what she showed me by her being married for 18 years, she understands she understands going through ups and downs. She understands fighting for a relationship. She had relationship skills. This mattered. Listen, she was 39 years old. Usually not the type of age of woman that I go for, but it seems to have worked itself out. One last thing, and I think you had mentioned this. I think you might have mentioned this. Maybe in the other couple of podcasts, is when men and women get together. Just going back to that whole resume thing, it is all about investment. It was last week. It was all about investment. You guys have to understand. She has to have skin in the game. She has to have skin in the game, and you're going to have to be the one to make her put skin in the game. If you're not making her put skin in the game, then she's not going to stick around, man.
No, that's 100% true. Couldn't agree with everything. I mean, I agree with everything you said there. And that's another thing I want to tell guys that are on the fence about what type of woman to choose. It's like, because there's I coached a guy today that's in his 50s. He's a principal, successful man. Oh, wow. Okay. I told him, I said, hey, because he was asking me about like what type. I asked him, what kind of woman are you looking for? So he was starting to give me some characteristics and some standards that he's looking for. And so I had to tell him, I said, hey, do you want to there's a big difference between buying a puppy and rescuing a senior dog.
There you go.
And I'm not going to say, and it's like, look, I had the puppy experience. I bought my Shiba Inu back in 2007. She'll be 14 years old. She flew in from Canada. Cool experience. Yeah. Nice to get that puppy breath. Of
course.
She can kiss you on the face. It doesn't smell. It's like a young chick. A young chick. She's fresh, tight-bodied, kind of silly. But you got to train her because she'll destroy your house.
Absolutely.
The dog's going to destroy your house, chewing all your shit, and then you're going to be blaming the dog, but you're a bad coach. Okay?
There you go.
You went in with unrealistic expectations. There you go. Or you can go and get yourself, let's say, for example, somebody raised a dog. They, just hypothetically speaking, they passed away or had to give the dog up for some reason. So they give the dog up. You go not campaign, but you go interview these dogs. So you're at the Humane Society. Take a look. This one looks calm. Showing some I don't know, some attraction to you.
Sure.
So you go back and visit them a couple of times. You say, hey, you know what? I don't really want the puppy experience anymore. I kind of want somebody who's a little more seasoned. And so if you find a woman, let's just say, for example, she got married at 22, divorced at 32. She's optimistic. Yeah. She's delightful. She smiles. She's not blaming her husband for everything. She didn't pop out a shit ton of kids. Let's just say she has one. I mean, you might want to consider it. You may want to consider it because she has some relationship experience.
Sure.
But try taking a broad that's 31 that has had maximum 3-month relationships with everybody.
No way.
That is a woman that is worthless.
Yes.
I'm just telling you,
yes.
It's unfortunate she is. But she's not trainable.
Nope.
She's not going to be trainable. Even if she's trainable, do you really want to invest that much time, your precious time,
yes,
to train this woman? The answer should be unequivocally no.
Now, I want to make this clear. Nobody is sitting here endorsing that you go after older women. Okay.
Right. No. I was just saying you
totally
have to
agree.
interview. You have to interview, not formal interview, but you have to ask questions. You got to see where she's been, because if you can take her experience and leverage it,
absolutely,
and she doesn't have a lot of liabilities, and you're not in it for love to begin with, I mean, you might have something there. You might.
This is the thing. Our critics and detractors, and of course my critics and detractors, they come after me about Dev's age all the time. The more they come after, the more they come after me about it, the more revealing it is. I think it's like 148% of people who talk shit about Devin, their girlfriend or wife is not in as good a shape as she is. That's just all there is to it. Oh, your wife is old and fat. Okay, what's your girl look like? Crickets, right? But again, I'm not going to sit here and say that, hey, as a man, you should look for older. No. What I am saying is that you have to understand what the sexual marketplace is like right now. Many, many moons ago, the best options were the younger women. But now younger women no longer come ready-made to be in a relationship. They can't cook, they can't clean. They're not interested in cooking or cleaning. The average 18 to 21-year-old woman, just like we said on last week's show, they're losers. They have the only skill they have is taking Instagram butt selfies. Now, if you have the time and the patience to deal with that and whip her into shape, hey, by all means, you get a hold of her, man, you break that mare, you train her, and guess what? Now you got a bad bitch for life. But it depends upon where you are in life. Dude, could I go out and get a 21-year-old and train her right now? Of course I could. I just don't have the time. And who knows, maybe when I'm 54 or 55 and retired, and I think to myself, I'm tired of Dev, I've got the time, I'm good with money. Maybe I want to spend my twilight years with a 20-something-year-old, whatever the case may be. Now, at that point, it'd be a little bit harder because now I've got shit. Now, that would be, 11, 12 years with Dev. There's that investment again. So nobody is sitting here. I'm not going to sit here and tell you why you should go after an older woman because my woman is older. No, there are definite drawbacks to women of all ages. The older a woman gets, man, the harder she is to train. There are some exceptions to the rule. And I'm not, dude, Devin is no unicorn. She is no fucking snowflake. Believe you me. But that 18 years she was married, that made a difference. And I believe at this point, other than her physical attractiveness, I think that's probably the biggest factor in terms of our longevity, because she seems to be very good at handling. Well, she does a very good job with handling my shit. Like I'm very demanding, and I'm not apologetic about that. I'm not an easy guy to be with at all, and she'll be the first to tell you that. But for whatever reason, she makes it look easy. Now, some days, she kind of breaks down. Like yesterday, she kind of broke down because I've been really hard on her this week. So I had to pull back. Okay, let's see. She's in the luteal phase. Okay.
You had to make her cry. Good.
Well, this is the thing. Remember, listen. We talked about this off the air. I don't have to say, okay, it's been about 30 days since I've made her. No, I make Devin.
It's going to happen.
Dude, the way I am, I make Devin cry about twice a month. This is just, I don't plan it. I don't try. This is just how I am. If you are
twice a day.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! No, I'm gonna tell you what. In the beginning, it was about twice. It was about twice a day during the training process. But if you are a man and you stand 10 toes down and you don't take shit from your woman, guess what? Yeah. You're gonna bring tears to her eyes. But going back to the overarching point is that there are gonna be advantages and drawbacks to women of all ages. As of right now, younger women are great to look. They're great to look at. They're great to have sex with, but they don't make it. Trust me, I'd rather have a 25-year-old than a 45-year-old, like real talk. But when I think about where I'm at in life, the average 25-year-old can't really offer me anything that Devin offers me. Not to mention that 2 out of 3 women in this country are overweight. Devin is in better shape than most women in this country of all ages. So again, I'm not sitting here making excuses, whatever the case may be. It is what it is. Just understand that there are advantages and drawbacks to each woman of all ages.
Yeah, and for those guys out there that talk shit, I was the one who brought up the point. So Donovan's just, I brought it up. So it's not like we didn't talk about it prior to the show.
That's all
and so,
good.
And keep in mind something. I'm not advocating young men go date some old ass woman. Okay?
Hell no.
This particular guy is in his 50s. He's well established.
Yes.
It was a different conversation, but I did try to tell him like, hey, do you have the kind of energy to deal with a young puppy? Okay.
Yeah, man.
That's delusional as fuck. That's
and dumb as fuck.
Okay. Or do you want to grab, maybe somebody who's younger than you yet? Okay. Let's say the dog is 7. Okay. So let's just say that dog being 7 is equivalent to a woman who's maybe 37. Okay. Just say 37. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
She's gonna be a little more tired. Okay, she's gonna have a little bit more. See, women slow down because they get tired.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
and men do too. I mean, you just can't keep abusing yourself.
No, you can't.
And just keep in mind too, if you guys think a lot of these young women actually fuck better, they don't, because a lot of the time these women are having a drunk sex. Dude, blackout drunk sex, man. They don't even remember a lot of the sex they're having these days.
No, they do not,
so if
man.
you think that they're actually retaining these skills, they're not. Because I used to fuck a bunch of young women, and I couldn't wait to get rid of them.
I'm telling you, man.
About 33, I used to fuck 21-year-old girls.
Dude,
easy. I'll get them home, and she's like, "You want to watch Netflix?" I'm like, "Hell no."
The fuck are we doing? Netflix, bitch. I'm trying to fuck. The fuck's wrong with you?
Well, after fucking, like, they want to stay watch Netflix.
No. Get out of here! No, I gotta.
Shout out Kevin Samuels. You got a cookbook? I don't have a cookbook. Okay, we need to get the fuck out of here. So what? And look, there might be special exceptions to like dating an older woman. For example, let's say there's a guy out there that doesn't want to ever have kids, and he's dating a woman that can't have kids.
Oh, dude!
Okay,
there it is.
Like
2 for 2. This is me. This is me right here.
So that might be a good fit for you because she might be a little older. But she doesn't want kids. You don't want kids. The two of you actually get along. Yep. So that might be a good fit, even though she's a little bit older.
This is my situation. Listen, this is my situation, EO. Devin can't have kids, and I don't want kids. And again, listen, man, like I said, I'm not sitting here calling my situation special at all. Please believe I still had to, like, sometimes I want to shoot myself in the face. This is just how this is. But understand that I would not have committed to Dev. I would not have invested in her if I didn't recognize the qualities that she had. Her SEO experience, her internet experience, her experience in relationships. She didn't ride the carousel, through her 20s and 30s. And she wanted to learn. It's interesting. I was actually going to have a conversation with her about this yesterday. But for whatever reason, it slipped my mind. I probably got busy. I was going to ask her, when was the aha moment for you? Like, because see, when Devin met me, she knew who I was, right? But you can tell when a woman, like, listen, she knows that I'm not about putting up with bullshit. She understood, okay, this dude is, like, I'm not special, but she understands that you don't move like most men. But I really wanted to ask her yesterday, and I'm going to open up the phone lines here shortly. What was the aha moment for you? When was the aha moment for you when you said, oh, shit, he is really that fucking dude? Like, this dude is really who the fuck he says and shows he is. A very interesting conversation. Let me read these super chats, and then I will get. So I'm going to read these super chats. We're going to open up the phone lines. While we're waiting for the phone lines to queue up, I'm going to tell you why I believe women are self-destructive by nature, and it's a very simple answer. Josh with a $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Lewis Cohen, $20. Said the beta husbands and fathers are also telling their daughters to wait until their 30s. Jesus fucking Christ. I hope not. Yeah. Josh again with the $5 super chat says the sad thing is I try and talk to my mom about RP shit and she gets defensive as I'm telling it to her. They will always be in their feelings. Josh, you made a huge mistake. Listen, man, the red mindset is like Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. rinse and repeat. You can't talk about the red mindset with women. It never goes
to men either.
No,
like go tell a blue pill man about red pill. That motherfucker will hang himself.
Well, see, the thing is this, man.
And we don't condone that, of course, but you know what I mean. Like that'll drive his ass crazy.
YouTube chill, right? No, but seriously, I remember when I first found this community, I wanted to tell everybody all about it because I was like, holy shit, like this is it. This is the answer. I learned very, very quickly that is not what you should be doing. So, Josh, stop evangelizing the red mindset. Trust and believe. You'll think before it later. Josh, with another $5 super chat, says, got a little spending money for Wisconsin beating Nebraska, and thank God Kyle is free. Kyle? Oh, he's talking about who the hell? I have no idea who Kyle is.
I think he's talking about that kid that that was released yesterday, not guilty.
Okay, so
the young kid.
Yeah. Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, I got to put you in timeout for that. I appreciate the super chat, but don't fucking use super chats to talk about divisive topics like that in my forum. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. So now I got to put you in timeout. I appreciate the super chat, Josh, but don't fucking do that shit, man. Like, don't come in here. Don't you fucking come in here and try to divide the chat. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? We're talking about female nature and you're going to talk about that? Check yourself, man. Come on. Be responsible. God damn. Fucking hell, man. I hate when people do that. Oh, yes. Dev says in the chat, don't forget Dev was the first thing Dev ever made for me was pot roast. Yo, I ate myself sick. I almost couldn't fuck her that night. It was crazy. So the cooking skills and all that other kind of stuff, and that made her a very attractive prospect. And so far, it appears to be working out. I never take anything for granted, but by the same token, at this point in time, I think I like our chances a little bit better than I did maybe 6 months to a year ago. Who knows? Okay, so we are going to open the phone lines. The phone lines. Holy shit! Hold on a second. I gotta go and give me 2 seconds here. So I got to make some changes here. So we're going to open up the phone lines. What is the number? 516-387-1987. Give me 2 seconds because I forgot to copy this over. So let me go to this phone. Hang on. I'm going to eliminate that EO. And I'm going to put in this. Yeah, there he is. Now I'm going to move this down. You guys are seeing production here in real time. Give me 2 seconds here. I got to make sure everything is like it is. I do now have to take the lovely and talented Stacy off of the marquee. Totally forgot about that. Side chick, main chick. There we go. All right, give me 2 seconds, guys. Sorry about this, guys. Sorry about this. I thought I had everything all sewed up. But there we go. Okay, so now, we're good to go. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. So, 516-387-1987. I am now going to tell you, EO, why women, among other reasons, are self-destructive. They got too fucking easy. They have it too easy. There is always a bailout plan for women. No matter what decisions a woman makes. I mean, truthfully, they could have a bunch of kids by a bunch of different niggas. They could be a drug addict. They could make every bad. Women are protected in this part of the world from their bad decisions. This is why they continue to make bad decision after bad decisions. Furthermore, they are, how can I put this? Not only are they encouraged to make bad decisions and involve themselves in self-destructive behavior, not only are they encouraged to do so, they are literally told that, hey, don't worry, if you make these bad decisions, you're going to be okay. I know that's a simple explanation, but what are your thoughts?
No, it's 100% true, and it's also that fantasy that I kind of alluded to earlier. It's like, he should take you out to dinner. Make sure he holds the door open. Maybe make sure he's a gentleman. Make sure he courts you. It's like all this bullshit that she was fed. It makes her completely delusional.
There you go.
And like you said, there's a ton of bailouts. And it's sad too that simps are so prevalent because they will take a woman at her worst.
Oh my
they
God.
Literally will take a woman at. They'll take a woman.
It's ridiculous,
with 4
man.
kids, with a mustache, with meat curtains hanging down to the floor.
Oh my God!
And I'm not even being funny. Like there are men out there that will take a woman with 3 kids that belong to 3 different men, and she still has standards, and this guy buys into it. And it's like that's part of the reason too, is that men are fucking needy and delusional themselves. And so, hey, it is what it is. But no, I couldn't agree more with that.
We bail these bitches out, do we not? Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they're self-destructive because we low-key facilitate it. Am I wrong?
Yes, low-key facilitated. I also think that women don't understand what their role is in society a lot of the time, especially with men. So if a man doesn't know his role and doesn't introduce her to her role, she won't know what to do. She'll self-destruct. She'll drink like crazy. She'll do whatever feels good. So that's part of a man's job too, which is why that mantra on the wall, it begins and ends with the man, is that you got to know who you are as a man. And then when you meet a woman, it's like you are introducing her to who she needs to be.
Oh, hell yes. Hell yeah. You remember that letter that Devin wrote to me that I read on the air? Yes. She's like, listen, man, like, I'm a better woman because of you. I'm a better girlfriend, a better daughter, better aunt, all this good stuff. Okay, let's go to the phone lines. Let us go to Ian in California. Ian in California, you are on live with EO. Why do you think women are self-destructive?
The primary, one of the biggest things is after a breakup. Women just go nuts after a breakup. Like, they add 10 more sausages to their body count. It's just like, that's probably like the easiest time to like kind of get, a good time with her. It's like when she leaves a relationship. So they just start going nuts. They hit the club. They start like, just spending money on kinds of just stupid stuff. And then they just add to their body count. So breakups is like one of the biggest things on why women are self-destructive by nature.
Have you ever heard the famous saying among women, in order to get over him, you have to get under him? You ever heard that before?
Yep.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, the reason why women are self-destructive after breakups is because they can, and it has a lot to do with what EO said. We facilitate it. Like, listen, man, I used to fuck girls coming off of a breakup, too. Like, I was a part of the sausage factory. What say you, EO? What do you think about Ian's...
Yeah, like Jesse Peterson, I think he says something like, are you a slut maker?
Yes.
He'll ask people that, are you a slut maker?
Yes.
And I was like, I definitely have been a slut maker. That's
it.
So part of that problem too is men. You don't have to fuck every woman there is, but here's the truth. Being that I'm a coach, I also deal with emotional men that once they leave relationships, they self-destruct to some degree. They're running to the next woman as soon as possible. They're looking through their fucking phone to see what old broad they can call up real quick to help get over the woman. So I don't think that it's just exclusive to women. I think both sexes become very emotional post-breakup, and that's because they didn't break up right. There's a way to break up. There's a way to go into the relationship. There's a way to manage the relationship, and then there's a way to end the relationship. And that's not to say it makes it that much easier or that much easier. But I think that you can be a little more healthy if you know how to end things. And so I think that time where women do change their appearance, cut their hair.
Oh God, yes.
Become a secretary. They want to be something different. That's because they're ashamed of how they feel. So a lot of the time women have sex not because they actually want dick, but because they don't want that image anymore. They want to feel different. And I know this about women. I'm not sticking up for them. I know how they think. They don't always, now they want dick too, but there are some times that women rush to sex just to feel accepted. They want to feel loved on, even if it's synthetic, even if it's not real. But I also want to say men do this too because I coach them.
I'll tell you this. There's the disagreement I have in that. Well, actually, no, I don't disagree. Men do self-destruct after breakups, but they don't do it with sex because sex is not destructive towards men. It's destructive for women. Men, we can fuck as many broads as we want. We're still going to be okay mentally. The reason why 25% of women, like over a certain age, are on antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds, or both, is because most women are hoes. Women are not physically or mentally designed to be fucking anything with a Y chromosome. We as men, that's what we're designed to do. But I will agree with you here, is that when men self-destruct, they smoke, they drink, they booze. I would say really, being in the company of another woman kind of helps, But when women, and it's funny, women self-destruct through smoking, drinking, but every habit, and I want to go, before we go to Caleb in Salt Lake City, every bad habit a woman has leads to sex, right? If she smokes, she fucks. If she does drugs, she fucks on drugs. If she drinks, she fucks. If she's an alcoholic, she's fucking on alcohol. Every vice a woman has always leads to dick. What say you?
I will say that's 100% true, and I will say the only reason that with men it's not that way is because men don't have good enough game.
Yep.
So they can't pull another bitch as fast as a man can get another dick.
Nope.
Okay, so that's why they'll sit at the bar and wear their elbows out and think about the past and fucking, because they can't get another bitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was like the only bitch that motherfucker can get, and so that's why I try to teach men. Self-improve, look your best,
Absolutely.
Get in shape, get your finances up, be courageous, live a life you're proud of, so you never have to lie to anybody about shit because you just stand on who the fuck you are. And when you're that kind of dude, man, you're always gonna have women.
No, I agree. This is funny. The Google search that led to me finding this community was, why do women get over breakups so easily? Well, the reason they get over breakups so easily is because there's always a line of sausage waiting to make their acquaintance.
The only time they have a difficult time is generally when they had an alpha, like a strong motherfucker, and he gets rid of her.
Oh,
a lot of the time she doesn't have sex after that. I want guys to know that.
That's true.
She does do self-destructive things. She might drink. She might take pills to go to sleep.
Yep. Or try to come fuck you after that.
She'll stare out of a window and shit, you know, like that. She's like Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction, fucking flicking the lamp and shit.
Oh my God.
So if a woman is let go by a what many call the high value man or alpha male, she has a very difficult time, and she's less likely to just go into another man's bed. But if she didn't like you and she doesn't respect you and she lost attraction, she is in another man's bed.
Yeah, and another man is in her. Totally. Let's go to Caleb. Let's go to Caleb in Salt Lake City. Caleb in Salt Lake City, you are on live with EO. What you got? Donovan and EO. Sorry.
Hi, how you doing, Donovan? Thank you so much for letting me call the show.
Of course.
I wanted to say personally. Also, the question. The question is, I had a question, and I wanted to also answer the question of what you were calling in the call-in.
Okay.
I wanted to answer first.
Caleb,
yeah.
I need you to do something for me. Take a deep breath. Slow down. You're okay. We're not going anywhere, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. You got it.
Okay. Well, the one thing it would to answer I feel about how you said how women, they self-destruct, and it's also I am also a musician, and I would say too it's also heavily with the music and entertainment.
Okay.
What goes through a lot that goes through women, especially look at the Beyonce, you talked about this before in a couple of your episodes. You said that everybody's they listen to these songs about irreplaceable, but look at Beyonce.
Yes.
She's still with her. she's still with Jay-Z.
Yeah, because Jay-Z is not irreplaceable.
Like, a lot of women are trending now to the Summer Walker, to the new Summer Walker album, like that, or EP that she just put, and it is such a trend in the music too that yes, I mean, you hit it on the head about the drugs and about like smoking and
Cardi,
drinking and stuff.
It's the whole influence with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and Kesha from back in the day, Miley Cyrus. Like, all these girls do is talk about getting fucked up and partying, but they don't really tell these girls what happens after, like, the drug fueled sex and all that shit is over with when dudes ain't trying to fuck anymore. That's where they're leading these bitches astray. What was your question, by the way?
My question is, like, how is it that you're able to be more assertive to like, to be more of like a you, or like of a Myron Gaines or Rollo Tomasi, like to just be like, how to be like up there, to be like straight up without being without people saying that you're like a dick?
That's a trick question. People who are direct are called dicks. Like, dude, some people call me a dick, some people call me an asshole, but guess what? They respect me, right? They don't call me a dick to my face. They don't call me an asshole to my face. They're like, God damn, that Donovan's a fucking asshole. They're not going to say that to my face. But when you have to understand something, Caleb, and you probably understand this, and you're a young guy, you're only 28. But when you're dealing with the average person, people are not used to people just being direct. People aren't used to, like, let's say you and I were friends, right? And let's say you and I were out at the bar, whatever the case may be, and you see something on TV and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm like, yo, Caleb, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You're acting like a 2-year-old. Relax, right? God damn, you're a fucking, you might think I'm a dick, but as a man, you're like, okay, he's a dick, but he's kind of right. What you have to understand is when people call you a dick or an asshole, especially when you're being direct, that's almost a term of endearment. Listen, they can think whatever they want about me, but one thing that they do have is they have respect. Another thing you have to worry about is what people actually think of you. As long as people are treating you with respect to your face, there's no dude, right there, dude, Definite G literally read my mind. Stop worrying about other people's opinions and accept it. 100%. As long as the only time that you need to worry about people's opinions is when they are mistreating you in person. But as long as the people around you and the people who know you, people talking to you, are treating you with respect, then there's no reason to worry about their opinion. EO, what do you have on this?
Yeah, I made a video title before. It was something to the effect of that. What is it? Said everyone's a piece of shit. Yeah. And so now that's awesome. Not a bad thing. I mean, in my mind, I assume that everyone that knows me is probably talking some level of shit about me.
Of course.
And it's not because they don't like me. It's because they do.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
It's because they do respect me. There's an admiration there. And so sometimes that can pull an insecurity out in a person. So if you see someone that you feel is at a higher level than you, the first thing you might do is talk shit, but underneath that shit talk is an admiration.
Yes.
So yes. I assume that every person that knows me to some degree probably don't like me a little bit.
Sure.
But that's a good thing.
Yes.
That's a good thing. So you got to get used to that. The second thing I would say about the music is he's right about the music, but that doesn't mean you can't play Mary J. Blige Love Without a Limit when she gets in your ride.
Oh, wow.
So like
oh shit.
Like I pull out some of the 90s hits where these chicks are like serenading men.
Hell
so
yeah.
You could still be a fly dude and say, "Hey, I know you like that shit right there, but hey, listen to this real quick." And if you're that dude, she'll be like, "Oh, I really like this song," because I've introduced music to younger women before that in this era, and let them hear music in my domain, in my atmosphere, with my vibe, with me, and I put on some music they never heard before. She's like, "Damn, this is nice right here." So, although that music is dominating right now, you still should have your own stash of music in your arsenal that you pull out when you're with women.
Good shit.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do have a stash. I'm sorry if I didn't cut anybody off.
No, you're
I
good.
do have a stash of music that I do And like I said, I'm a musician, so I do have like I have plethoras of playlists that are good, and I do, like I said, I do scout a lot of the the music to see like what, you know, what's trending around the world, to see like what's up with the activity of for people, because music is like the soul to people. So that's
good.
I definitely take that into consideration. And thank you guys again for
Absolutely
having me to ask these questions.
Caleb in Salt Lake City, I appreciate the call. You know, something you said really struck a chord, and this is something I've said only a couple of times, but people who talk shit, like people who talk shit or hate on you, what I have learned is that is simply miscommunicated adoration, right? They adore you, but they don't know how to communicate it to you. Now, it's a combination of two things. They secretly adore you, though they would never admit it out loud, but in their minds, they know that they either can't or won't do what it takes to do or become what you have become. And that's where the hate comes from. So make no mistake about it. The more shit somebody talks about you, the more they adore them. Case in point, Anthony Johnson, he's talked shit about me for the past 8 months. The reason why Anthony Johnson talks shit about me is because I make more money than he does. I'm better with women than he ever was. My conference is eventually going to supplant him. If I were him, I would hate me too. But rather than, and not to bring him into this, but it's almost like when I see a Mike Rashid video or I see a Mike Rashid post, it motivates me. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get traps like Mike Rashid. But for whatever reason, there are just some guys who have an automatic switch to hate on men. Mike Rashid is in better shape than me. It is what it is. But when I see guys who are in better shape than me, I don't, like, it's not like, well, I'll bet he's doing this and I bet he's on. No, I want to know what he's doing. It inspires me to get my ass in my gym downstairs and lift for an extra half an hour. What about you? Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, and then also, I'm so secure with who I am and my interests in life that even if I see a guy that happens to have something I don't, I'm happy for him, but I don't want it. I actually don't want it. I'm like, you know, I don't want to do what it takes to get to that because I just don't want that.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's important for guys to become very secure with what they genuinely want.
Yeah.
Like don't kill yourself for something you don't want.
Right.
Like if you genuinely have a desire for something, then exhaust that. Go through that, run through that. That way when you get to the end, you're like, all right, I don't want it anymore.
Like the conversation about watches. Like the conversation about watches you and I had off the air. Yeah.
Yes. So like I can look at a man who is, let's say, for example, driving a Lambo. I don't want a Lambo. I personally don't have a desire for doors that go up. I just don't. I never have. Okay? But when I see a guy doing that, I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that's what you like. You hustle to get that. You have a purpose for having that. So more power to you. But I don't want a Lambo.
No,
I'll take a German car any day, like a Mercedes-Benz, BMW.
Yo, dude, I swear to God, we're twins. I am oh my God, dude, I'm a German engineering whore. I love, oh my God, dude, I love Audis. I love Volkswagens. Is Porsche German? I think they're German, Porsche. The one luxury, quote unquote, supercar, my dream car, it used to be a Lamborghini, but guess what? Lamborghinis no longer have the traditional stick shift manual transmission. So guess what? Now I want either like a Porsche, not a Cayenne, a Porsche Cayman. I'm not going to buy a Porsche 911 Turbo because I'll probably die if I drive one of those. Same with it. I would love to own a Shelby Cobra, but if I do, I'll probably last a week and then I'll die in some fiery crash like Paul Walker, God rest his soul. But I agree with you. I see men who are doing well. And I'm genuinely Audi. That's it. I'm genuinely happy for these people. And if I see a guy driving a car that I want, it just makes me work harder. I will never understand. I don't know. And I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm some sort of special otherworldly. I just don't understand how what kind of a man sees another man doing well and wants to talk shit. Like, hey.
I could answer that very well. Oh, okay. And I know you'll agree with this.
Okay.
winners know how hard it is to win.
Yes,
like it is
do.
a process. It is a it takes years to win at something sometimes.
Oh my God, dude.
Now sometimes once you're used to winning and you're putting in the effort, wins come a little easier after a while.
Right.
But in the beginning stages, winning is tough. It's tough to do.
It is.
So if we're constantly accomplishing goals, or if we are in pursuit of accomplishing goals, we see somebody else doing it, we know how hard it took for him to get there.
Okay.
But if you're a loser that don't do shit,
you have no idea.
Have no choice to hate. You don't know what it's like. So
wow.
And the other point I would say that I want guys to understand is stop being jealous of other men, because you don't even want a lot of the things that other men have. Like there's certain things that, like, I know guys right now that don't want rotations of women.
Right.
They don't. They can't manage it. They don't want it.
Been there, done that.
Even if I gave it to him, I'm like, hey, I got 3 broads that'll go with you for the rest of the month. You want them? Nah, I'm good. He don't want them. And so and then there's guys that do want that. So like, be comfortable with what you want. I mean,
I'm 100%. Listen, this is funny, especially this is. It's so funny, especially in content creation. I don't know if you've ever read the book Outliers, but there was a concept that Malcolm Gladwell talked about called the power distance index. The United States, the West, for example, has a very short power distance index. In other words, dude, we're hypercritical of our congressmen, our presidents. We have a say. We're a democratic society. Very, very short power distance index. Shorter than maybe a place like Russia or Cuba, if you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
YouTube, especially, I guess that's what we're talking about here, has a very short power distance index. In other words, the effort it takes to get a hold of us, like if somebody wanted to send Tom Cruise a message, they would have to go through several different channels. Tom Cruise is, Tom Hanks, whatever. They have, all of these layers. Dude, as soon as we flip on YouTube's, anybody can comment. Now, we do our best to try to moderate the chat, but what this does on the other side of that, and this isn't to say that we're better or worse than anybody else, but people, when people see that we live these lives, they don't realize how long it took to get here. They think that all we did I got a smartphone and an opinion. I start a channel, boom, 100,000 subscribers just like that. Fam, it is not that easy. And these men who hate on us think that we just decided to wake up and become and become titans of the industry, or whatever. We just woke up and decided we're just going to make this. No, it took a long time to get here. But all they see is us on YouTube. We're confident, we're unapologetic, and it rubs them the wrong way because they're not like that. They can only be like us on the keyboard, but they can't be like us in real life. This is why they're very bold and brazen in the comments. It's funny, people are clever in the comment section, but that the way people talk in the comment section, the bolder somebody appears to be in the comment section, I think to myself, okay, this dude probably really isn't shit in real life because he's still talking shit.
Yeah. And to give you an idea, what you're looking at right now, like just this studio.
Yeah.
This is old money. This is money I made back in 2009.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Now,
and what I mean by that is I had to work corporate jobs, sales jobs, fucking kiss ass. Work extra hours, fucking go even try to maintain a personal life. I had to get on the floor and sell back in my earlier years, fucking hungover and drunk. Okay. And so, but because you're trying to balance a personal life.
Of course.
Life. But everything you're looking at is old money for me, because it's not like I just said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to quit my job and start a YouTube channel and start a business empowering men worldwide.
Right.
I had to work a job, save money, put money into 401k, other investments, and then I found a loophole during the COVID situation, I pulled all my money out with a very minimal penalty.
Yep.
And that was also very big for me to go 2 feet into this business.
Woo,
I don't even know if I would have gone 2 feet into this business if it wasn't for COVID. So I was looking for loopholes. I'm like, all right, let me call Mass Mutual and see if there's a way out.
Yeah, finagle
they're
something,
like, hey,
right?
Yeah, be like an emergency clause or something. And so I found it. All that money, which I earned, it's not. People might think, oh, well, you had a 401k, but you know how long I had to work to build up my 401k. Dude. So I went. So I found a way, utilized the situation I was going on worldwide, pulled that money out, threw it, then pulled out some other monies that I had elsewhere, and then so this desk, all this shit, I paid for this back in 2012.
Whew, wow.
So I'm trying to give them an idea that this isn't an overnight thing.
No. Oh my God.
There is so much preparation, time, blood, sweat, and tears that goes into, and then getting the game and the knowledge. We have to read. We have to go out there and live some more.
Oh Jesus.
So we can learn about women today, men today, what's going on in the world. So I want them to know I bought this a long time ago.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
This was all, and listen, nobody is, and I'm sure EO would agree with this. Nobody's saying you feel sorry for us. Like, dude, I live a great life. Right. I love what the fuck I do. But just because I love what I do does not mean it's easy. I've actually made it a point. This is actually something Kevin told me to do. And it's weird because he told me this. I think this maybe was 2 weeks ago. He says, Donovan, what you have to understand is most of your subscribers have not seen most of your content. Most people who are finding out about you day by day have no idea that you've written over 200 articles, you've written 10 books. They have no idea that you've been in this community since way back in 2014. 2022 will be my 8th year in this community. 8 years. So, and again, I started out just as a weekly columnist at Return of Kings. 80 articles there. Then I wrote for another website, another 120 articles there. The point is I paid my dues. And when people talk shit about us, they're speaking to us as though they don't really know. They're assuming that we just snapped our fingers and got here. No. Now this is not old money around me. This is all new money. Like I'm not going to sit here and cap that. No, this shit, I paid for this shit about 2 years ago. I didn't pay for this shit back in 2012. Right. But the point is what you said is 100% true. The reason why we have admiration for guys like Mike Rashid or Adam at the No Jumper podcast or Myron Gaines and Fresh Prince CEO is because we know what it took to get to this point. Dude, the hundreds of hours talking to girls, thousands of approaches, hundreds of shakedowns, hundreds of rejections, all of these things. We made all these excuses so you don't have to. And then some guy's like, you're a simp, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, okay, well, I can't help that dude because he has no idea really who I am.
Yeah. Yeah, and even like, the puppy analogy I gave earlier. Look, I got my dog at a very young, she was a puppy. I mean, small as heck. Now she's about to be 14 next year. God bless her. I'm very blessed to still have her, and she's very healthy considering.
Oh, good.
And so, but I enjoyed her at that age, and I'm enjoying her now. Like I like the fact that I could take her around the block. She gets her sniffs in, she gets her exercise, and then she goes and lays down. I don't want a fucking dog jumping on my desk and all over. Like I don't want. I had that already. So, and what I'm saying is like that's like a young woman.
Yes.
You gotta, she needs your attention. She wants you to look at her. She wants you to talk to her. She wants you to tell her that you like her hair. Like there's a lot of shit you gotta do.
Dude, I want to stab myself with an ice pick right now.
Of times. Like I love a chick that can go lay down in the bed and play a fucking crossword puzzle. Like, yeah, I'll see you in an hour.
Yes. Oh my God.
But you won't know that unless you actually put yourself out into the game. You won't know that.
Listen, man, like I said, there are advantages and disadvantages to dating older and younger women. I have what appears to be a worthwhile investment. So Josh was on the line. It looks like Blog Talk Radio has quit on me. I guess Josh wanted to call up and apologize for his super chat about Kyle. That's fine, no problem. It is what it is. All's forgiven. Don't worry about it. So that's all good. You're still cool with me. Jashawn is in the house. Good to see you in here. Jimmy and Dallas. Listen, I think we can end it right there. I think this was a very very telling podcast. Tomorrow we are going to we're going to tie this into tomorrow's episode. Tomorrow's episode of the 6th. We are going to talk about how to keep your woman from engaging in self-destructive behaviors. Because if you're with a woman who is engaging in self-destructive behaviors and you're not correcting those, she will take you with her. We will also be joined by the star of Temptation Island Season 3, Kendall Kirkland. That's right. Kendall Kirkland, who's fucking Alexis, Nicole. He probably fucked another broad on the island. Had him on the show a few weeks back. He was a fantastic guest. He's excited about coming on to join us at the 6th. So very very much looking forward to that. Tuesday, I'm launching a pilot show called Tuesdays with Torsha. I'll be joined by Tori Grow to talk about pretty privilege. Tori is, I guess she's a red-pilled female. She's made her rounds. I think she's been on the Fresh and Fit podcast a couple of times. She seems to know her stuff about the red mindset. And I'm trying to expand my audience to female viewers, and I can't do that with fat ugly chicks. And Tori is clearly not she's not a fat ugly chick. So that's just how that's going to have to be. But I think we can leave it right there, EO. Any closing thoughts? Tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, no, just great show as always. It's good to be with you, Donovan.
Yeah, man.
I really enjoy your. I mean, I look at you, man. Every time, I'm subscribed to you, obviously.
Sure.
And I'm like, look at Donovan's on again. Donovan is on again.
Yeah, man.
Donovan works his fucking ass off, and so you have to respect Donovan. Okay. I mean, even if you don't have to like me, you don't have to like us, but you have to respect us. We work our fucking asses off, and if you just put your ego aside or your insecurities, you can learn something.
Man.
So, good show today. Hopefully, we gave you some insight that either you knew already, or that you needed to be reminded of, or that you didn't know at all, and that you're glad you got the new information. So I'm Coach EO. Just type it in YouTube. You'll find me. If you're interested in my content, subscribe. Also, you can visit my website and you can learn more about me. You can even book some time with me. ChampionGameCoaching.com. ChampionGameCoaching.com. And also, second book coming out real soon. So I know
yes!
Real soon. Yep.
He is Everett Overton. EO, thanks for joining us tonight, man. I'll see you tomorrow on the 6th, brother.
Peace out. Good to see you guys.
That is Coach Everett Overton, dropping the knowledge as usual. Fantastic show, man. Great show. I mean, Blog Talk Radio is kind of, I don't know, it's hit or miss. It's like the typical bitch. Very much looking forward to tonight. Tonight, Devin's outfit. I've got Devin wearing basically nothing. I think so. Devin's outfit. So stay with me. So Devin's outfit tonight. Red lipstick. She's got these red lipsticks. She's got these dangly hoop earrings. She's wearing thigh highs and stripper heels. That's it. Thigh highs, stripper heels. That's it. I just want her naked. Don't want to have to take anything off. I wanted to smash last night, but she didn't. She's. I've been very tough on her this week, so I decided to give her a bit of a break. But I'm about to. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to take the first shower. I've taken. I can't remember the last time I showered. Yes, when you work as much as I do, sometimes you just miss showers. It is what it is. I haven't left the house. Don't worry. But thank you all for joining in. Thank you guys very, very much for your support. And we will see you tomorrow on the 6th, where we will be joined.